His name was Friedrich Leitner. He was 23 years old. He came from a small town in Bavaria called Landsberg am Lech, a quiet river town, the kind of place where everyone knew everyone, where summers smelled like cut grass and church bells rang on Sunday mornings without fail. His father was a baker. His mother kept a small garden behind their house. Friedrich had two younger sisters who thought their big brother could do no wrong. He had never wanted to be a soldier, but in the summer of 1941, wanting did not matter. Friedrich Leitner was handed a uniform, a rifle, and an M31 Feldflasche, a standard German field canteen. He clipped that canteen to his belt on a warm June morning in a staging camp near the Polish border. He adjusted the strap. He looked east. He did not know then that he was looking toward the place where he would disappear. On June 22, 1941, Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. It was the largest military operation in human history. Over 3 million soldiers crossed into Soviet territory in a single dawn. Friedrich Leitner was one of them. In the beginning, it felt like victory was close. The advance moved fast across the flat Soviet landscape. Towns fell, roads were captured. The summer heat was surprising this far east, and Friedrich wrote letters home to his mother from the roadside, sitting on his pack, his canteen warm against his hip. He told her the sunflower fields went on forever. He told her not to worry. He told her he thought it would be over by autumn. His mother kept every single letter. By October, the roads had turned to mud. The Rasputitsa, the Russians called it, the season of mud, came without warning and swallowed the German advance whole. Vehicles sank to their axles, supply trucks could not move, boots disappeared into ground that pulled at every step. Friedrich's unit, which had been moving forward confidently for months, now stood still in a sea of brown mud stretching to the horizon in every direction. He wrote home in October. He said his boots were always wet. He said the mud was something he could not find words for. He said he was still all right. He said he missed his father's bread more than he had ever missed anything in his life. Then, winter came. Nothing, not his childhood, not his training, not anything any human being had ever told him had prepared Friedrich Leitner for a Russian winter. The temperature dropped to -10 in November, then -20 in December. Then, in January 1942, in the fields and forests near the town of Rzhev, where Friedrich's unit was positioned, the thermometers read -42 degrees Celsius. -42. Men's fingers froze inside their gloves. Weapons stopped working. The oil in the mechanisms turned solid, and the bolts would not move. Food froze before it reached their mouths. Soldiers burned anything they could find to survive the night. Wood, paper, the letters from home that they had read so many times they had memorized every word. Friedrich's M31 Feldflasche froze solid. He learned, as all the Eastern Front soldiers learned, to keep it pressed against his chest inside his jacket. The warmth of his own body, whatever warmth remained in that frozen world, was the only thing that kept the water from becoming useless ice. He would wake in the night and press his hand against the canteen through the fabric to check. Still liquid, still alive. Two things that meant the same. The Wehrmacht had not prepared for winter. This was not a soldier's complaint, it was a documented catastrophe of planning. Hitler had promised the Soviet Union would collapse before the cold came. When it did not collapse, German soldiers found themselves fighting a Russian winter in summer uniforms. Thin wool, light boots, gloves that were never designed for -40. Friedrich improvised the way they all did. He wrapped newspaper around his feet inside his boots. He stuffed straw inside his jacket for warmth. He looked nothing like the soldier who had crossed the border in June. He looked like a man held together by desperation and cold and the stubborn refusal to stop breathing. The Soviets counterattacked in winter. They were ready for it in ways the Germans were not. White camouflage suits, felt boots called Valenki designed for extreme cold, Weapons built to function at temperatures that turned German rifles into useless metal bars. They came out of the snow and the dark and the silence, and the German positions that had seemed solid began to break. Friedrich's unit fell back from Rzhev, then fell back again. The Battle of Rzhev would eventually last 14 months, over 1 million casualties on both sides. Some historians call it the largest battle of World War II that no one remembers. Friedrich Leitner arrived at its beginning in the coldest winter in decades, with a canteen pressed against his chest and letters from his mother folded inside his jacket next to his heart. His last letter home was written in January 1942. He told his mother he was tired in a way that sleep did not fix. He told her the cold was something language could not carry. He told her he thought about home every single hour, not just every day, every hour. He told her he thought about the river at Landsberg in summer, how the light came through the trees along the bank in the early morning, how it looked like something from a painting, how he had never appreciated it when he was there. He told her he still had his canteen. He told her it was the most important thing he owned. He told her he would be home soon. Friedrich Leitner was reported missing in action in February 1942 near Rzhev. He was 23 years old. His body was never found. His name was added to a memorial in Bavaria among thousands of other young men from small towns who went east and did not come back. His mother waited for years. She kept his letters in a wooden box by her bed and wrote to military authorities long after the war ended, asking for information that never came. There was never any answer. There was never any closure. There was only the box of letters and the silence where her son used to be. Somewhere in the fields near Rzhev, fields that are quiet now, that grow wheat in summer and fill with snow in winter just as they always have, Friedrich Leitner lies in the earth. And somewhere, perhaps in that same earth, his M31 Feldflasche lies beside him. The felt cover slowly dissolving into the soil, the leather strap giving way to time. The wire cup still holding its shape in the dark ground, the way it held itself together through everything else. Through the mud and the frost, and the retreat and the silence of a winter that never seemed to end. He was not a general. He was not a name in history books. He was a baker's son from a river town who was cold and tired and thirsty. He was Friedrich, and he was one of 13 million. Subscribe for more story.